In this episode, I'm going to be looking at the subclasses of Bard, and I'm starting with this book, Tome of Heroes, because it's a little bit more unusual. I was quite disappointed with Bards, so I'm hoping that this video will show me that there's some cool things to do with them. Starting with the College of Echoes. In the caverns beneath the surface world, sound works differently. You have learned to manipulate sound with your magic. You can silence the most violent explosions. You can make whispers seem to reverberate forever. So, echolocation. Alright, when you join College of Echoes, you learn how to see with your ears as well as your eyes. As long as you can hear, you have blind sight out to a range of 10 feet. That's not much. And you have disadvantage on saving throws against effects that would deafen you. 14th level, your blind sight goes out to 15 foot. That's a long way though, from 3rd to 14th. Alter sound. At 3rd level, manipulate the sounds of your speech to mimic any sounds you've heard, including voices, like a kenku. A creature that hears the sounds can tell they are imitations with an insight check, contested by your deception check. In addition, you can manipulate some of the sounds around you. Use your reaction to do the following. Enhance. Increase the volume of a sound originating within 30 feet of you, doubling the range it can be heard, so turning it up. And when a hostile creature within 30 feet takes thunder damage, you can expend a bardic inspiration and increase the thunder damage by an amount equal to the number you roll on the bardic inspiration die, which I think is a d6, right? Or you can dampen, decrease noise. Well, I guess if you're a musician, you can turn yourself up and turn others down, but I'm not excited about that so far. You can expend a bardic inspiration to change a number of words within 30 feet of you, equal to 1 plus the number you roll on the bardic dice, or you can change a number of notes of a melody. That could be quite fun if you're changing words that other people are saying. And again, it's perception versus deception. Disrupt. When a spellcaster casts a spell with verbal components, you can use a bardic inspiration to disrupt the sounds of the verbal component. Starting at 6th level, when you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can expend a spell slot to deal thunder damage. The extra damage is 1d6 for a 1st level slot, plus a d6 for each spell level higher, to a maximum of 6d6. The damage increases by a d6 if the target is made of such things as stone, crystal or metal. At 14th level, your bardic inspiration infuses your allies' weapon attacks with sonic power. Add the number rolled on the bardic inspiration to a weapon damage roll it just made. All of the damage becomes thunder damage. The target has to succeed a strength save or be knocked prone. College of Investigation. These bards use their knack for gathering information to learn about criminals and vigilantes, their tactics and their weaknesses. Some work with agents of the law to catch criminals, but shadier members of this college use their dark knowledge to emulate the malefactors they have studied for so long. Bonus proficiencies. At 3rd level, you gain proficiency in the Insight skill and in 2 of the following of your choice: Acrobatics, Deception, Investigation, Performance, Sleight of Hand or Stealth. At 3rd level, your knowledge of the underhanded tactics allows you to gain insight into your foe's strategies. As a bonus action, expend a bardic inspiration to make an insight check, contested by deception. Add the bardic inspiration die to the result. You have disadvantage on this check if the target is not a humanoid, and the check fails against creatures who are dumb. On a success, the target has disadvantage on attack rolls against you for a minute. You have advantage on saves against their stuff. You have advantage attacking them. So that's very, very combat based, which I've heard is the Bard's weakness, so, these things are giving combat a go. Bardic Instinct. You can extend your knowledge of criminal behaviours to your companions. Use a reaction to roll your dice and reduce the damage by twice the number rolled. If this reduces the damage to nothing, the creature you just inspired can make 1 melee attack against its attacker as part of that reaction. Pretty niche though, isn't it? I'm not sure. 14th level. Okay, when a creature fails a saving throw against one of your spells, you can mark it like Hunter's Mark, and you know the direction of that mark at all times for 24 hours. I'm not sure that's too exciting either. So we've had sound, we've had better combat in a way, learn their ways of fighting. College of Shadows. Some bards are as proficient in the art of espionage as they are in poetry and song. College of Shadows bards undergo careful training before they're sent out into the world. Skilled in music and manipulation, they're the perfect blend of charm and cunning. Knowledge is power. When you join the College of Shadows, you gain proficiency in stealth and in 2 other skills of your choice. Starting at 3rd level, while you are in dim light or darkness, use your action to twist the shadows around you for a minute or until your concentration ends. Advantage on stealth checks, and you can take the dash action as a bonus action on each of your turns, like a roguey boy. Starting at 6th level, you know exactly where to hit your enemies. The target must make a wisdom save against your DC. You can use this feature as a bonus action if you expend a bardic inspiration die. If the target fails this saving throw, you have advantage on your next roll. You know the target's damage vulnerabilities, which are pretty few and far between. I wish there was more vulnerabilities in this game. You know the target's damage resistances and damage immunities, which are quick to learn anyway. You've only got to hit them once and it doesn't really do much. You know the target's condition immunities. You see through any illusions. That is underwhelming. Shadowed performance. You're a master at weaving stories and influencing the mind of your audience. If you perform for at least a minute, at the end of your performance, choose a number of humanoids who witness the entire minute of performance, up to a number equal to 1 plus your charisma mod. Each target must make a wisdom save against your save DC. On a failed save, for 24 hours, the target believes the tale you told is true and will tell others the tale as if it was the truth. For an hour, the target believes somebody nearby knows their darkest secret, and they have disadvantage on charisma, wisdom and intelligent ability checks and saves as they are distracted and overcome with paranoia. The target becomes convinced that you are a fearsome opponent. For 1 minute only, the target is frightened of you. Blah blah blah. That is underwhelming. College of Sincerity. These minstrels gain a devoted following and rarely lack for company. Though members of the college can be found as travelling minstrels and adventuring troubadours, they gravitate to large urban areas where their silver tongues and mind-bending performances have the greatest influence. Devious rulers sometimes seek out members of the college as counsellors, but the rulers must be wary lest they become a mere pawn of their new aid. Let me understand what you're talking about. When you join the College of Serenity, you gain the service of 2 commoners. Your entourage is considered charmed by you and travels with you to see to your mundane needs, such as making your meals and doing your laundry. That is quite amusing. They act as your messengers and gophers. When you put on a performance, they speak your praise and rouse the crowd to applause. Your entourage doesn't join combat. What's the point then? You gain another commoner at 6th level and 14th. They can't fight, I'm not interested. At 3rd level, when you cast an enchantment spell such as Charm Person, the target remains unaware of your attempt to affect its mind, regardless of the result of its save. I mean, it's a minor tweak, just boring. Lingering Presence. If a creature fails a saving throw against an enchantment or illusion spell, it has disadvantage on subsequent saves. Artist of Renown. Use a bardic inspiration die to cast an enchantment spell you don't know, using one of your spell slots. Absolutely uninteresting for me personally. Don't know what you're thinking. College of Tactics. Calculating strategists who scour historical records of famous battles for tricks that they can use to give their own troops an edge on the battlefield. You gain proficiency with medium armour, shields and 1 martial weapon. You can use the bardic inspiration a number of times. You regain expended uses when you... what? Dull. You can move your allies into more advantageous positions. As a bonus action, you command up to 3 willing allies who can see or hear you to use a reaction to move. You make them move. Each target moves up to half its speed, but the movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. So that's generally 3 squares. I mean, what's the point? What is the point of any of this? Song of Strategy. A creature that has a bardic inspiration die from you can roll that die and perform one of the following strategies. If you take the dodge action, you can make one melee attack against a creature that is within 5 feet of you. If you take damage from a creature, use your reaction to make one attack against your attacker. You can take the disengage action as a bonus action, increasing your speed by 5 feet times the number rolled. If you take the dash action, you can make a melee attack. If the attack is a crit, the target is frightened. If you take the ready action and the trigger for the readied action doesn't occur, you can make one weapon or spell attack after all other creatures have acted in the round. If you take the help action to help a friendly creature, they can add the number rolled to their attack roll against the target. Quirky. Starting at 14th level, when you take damage from a spell or effect that affects an area such as Fireball, you can use a bardic inspiration as a reaction to redirect and dissipate some of the spell's power. Roll the bardic inspiration die and add the number rolled to your saving throw against the spell. That sounds alright. I quite like the getting free hits in and stuff. College of the Cat. Most are skilled, cunning and vicious enough to extricate themselves from even the most dangerous situations. Yeah, acrobatics, stealth, thieves' tools. If you're proficient with a simple or martial weapon, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your bard spells. You can stalk your foes. You can gain a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and when you use the inspired pounce, you can move up to your speed as part of the reaction. You can attack twice instead of once, whenever you take an attack action, whenever you take the attack action on your turn. In addition, when using two-weapon fighting, to make an attack as a bonus action, you can give the bardic inspiration die to a friendly creature within 60 feet of you as part of that same bonus action. And advantage on dex checks to a friend, I think. Well, they were not that interesting. Nothing there made me want to hurry to be a bard. Alright, on to Tasha's. What do we get? We get additional bard spells just as standard. Colour Spray, Command, Aid, Enlarge, Reduce, Mirror Image, Intellect Fortress, Mass Healing Word, Slow, Phantasmal Killer, Rare is Telepathic Bond, Hero's Feast, Dream of the Blue Veil, Prismatic Spray, and Antipathy, Sympathy, Prismatic Wall. The asterisk ones are in Xanathar's. Second level Bard. If a creature has a Bardic Inspiration die from you, casts a spell that restores hit points or deals damage, the creature can roll that die and choose a target affected by the spell. Add the number rolled as a bonus to the hit points regained or the damage dealt. The Bardic Inspiration die is then lost. Fourth level Feature grants you the following, representing a change in focus as you use your skills and magic. Replace one of the skills you choose for the expertise feature with one of your other skill proficiencies that isn't benefiting from expertise. Replace one cantrip you learned from this class's spellcasting feature with another cantrip from the Bard's spell list. So that's just swapping out thing. So College of Creation. You can utter a note from the Song of Creation to create a tiny mote of potential which orbits within 5 foot of a creature. The mote looks like a musical note, a star, a flower, or something of your choosing. That's pretty cool. So they can use it to add to an ability check. The creature can roll the Bardic Inspiration die again and choose which roll to use as the mote pops and emits colourful, harmless sparks for a moment. Attack roll. Add it to the attack roll. The target succeeds on a con save against your spell save DC or takes thunder damage. Add it to a saving throw. The creature can gain temporary hit points if it so chooses. As an action, create one non-magical item of your choice 10 foot in front of you. The item glimmers softly and a creature can faintly hear music when touching it. The size of the item increases by one size category when you reach to large and huge. Dancing item. As an action, you can animate an action, and it uses the dancing item stat block. The item is friendly to you, it lives for 1 hour until it's dead, or until you die. In combat, the item shares your initiative count. It can move, use its reaction, but the only action it takes on its turn is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action to to command it to take another action. That's kind of cool. 14th level. You can create more than one item. Only one of these items can be maximum size, so you can create the rest. So the other one must be small or tiny. I like that, just because it's quirky. That's actually something that could be fun. College of Eloquence. You're a master at saying the right thing. Your words subtract the bardic inspiration dice from a creature's saving throw on its next turn. Your inspiring words adds a dice to attack roll or saving throw. Universal speech. The creature can magically understand you. When you inspire somebody, it adds your bardic ability inspiration dice to whatever. It's all kind of blurring into each other now. Let's look at Xanathar's. College of Glamour. Mantle of Inspiration. Grant yourself a wondrous appearance. When you do so, choose a number of creatures you can see that can see you. Each of them gains 5 temp hit points, which increase. If you perform for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to inspire wonder in your audience. It's already been done. You gain the ability to cloak yourself in a fey magic that makes others want to serve you. Yep, heard it before. You gain otherworldly aspect that makes you look lovely and fierce. Rubbish. College of Swords. You adopt a style of fighting as your speciality, which is meant to be the thing they're bad at. Dueling. When wielding a melee weapon, you gain +2 to damage rolls. Okay. Whenever you take the attack action, your walking speed increases by 10 feet. If a weapon attack that you make as part of this action hits a creature, you can also do this. Expend one of your dice to cause a weapon to deal extra damage. Tick. You can also have the number to your AC until the start of your next turn. Tick. You can expend one of your dice to cause a weapon to deal extra damage to the target you hit and to any other creature within 5 feet. You can deal extra damage to the target with a mobile flourish. You push your target away. Like it. Extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once. Whenever you use Blade Flourish option, you can roll a d6 and use it instead of expending Bardic Inspiration die. That is pretty simple, but it's fighty, and I like that. College of Whispers. You deal extra 2d6 psychic damage. Okay, I love me some damage. 3rd level, you learn to infuse innocent seeming words with an insidious magic. It's the whole frightened thing. You can steal... you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do so, it vanishes, transforming into a disguise that appears on you. While you're in disguise, you gain access to all information that the humanoid would freely share with a casual acquaintance. That's dangerous for a DM. Yeah, you look inside its mind, find out what it's afraid of. Well, that's just some subclasses of Bard, and I would say that I would always go with the extra damage personally. But, yeah, Bards aren't that great, are they? Really? Like, statistic-wise, I think they are interesting to play, but it's all about your roleplay, isn't it, really? And they just find something with extra damage. That would be my take on it. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Might be just fun to play. Well, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.